Hi everybody, it's Dan from Valhalla Games. Welcome back to the Big Tiger build, part 2. Alright, so as you can see in front of me, I have made some progress on the first of the Tigers. You can see, so assembled without the skirting plates and with the Henschel turret. So, lovely model. As you can see, I have base coated it and then primed it and then gone a base coat over it as well. So what I have base coated it is, primed it with this one here. It's German red brown from Vallejo through the airbrush, and then followed that up with a base coat of Tamiya Color for Plastics TS3 dark yellow. As you can see, I have left some of the red brown in the recesses, just deliberately shading it in there. So I'm quite happy for that to happen. That'll just all happen and aid the weathering when it gets there. So, yeah, really good model to stick together. And now the question comes, but Dan, you were supposed to be doing 2 of them. So what about the other one? Alright, so let's bring out this bad boy then. So this one here, I put the skirting armor on, and I did some research. I found pictures of it with the pieces missing, and I found that this connector sort of piece here was present in some and missing in other pieces, dependent on how they'd removed it, I guess. So what I did on that side is I left them on. It does make it look a bit bulky, but that was off a reference picture that I found on the net. And on this side here, I have taken it off. So basically depicting on this corner that we've taken some damage, maybe run over obstacles, something like that, and we've removed those plates. And then on this side here, we have maybe had some further damage there or taken some fire and had to remove them. So same thing here with this paint job. Again, really happy to have left a little bit of that red brown into the in the recesses. That'll just help with the weathering of it. And as I do remember, I promised you that I would show you how to do some other work as well. So if I put this down over here and just move that in like so, then I can get to grips with what I'm going to show you next. So I'll take that one out of the way, bring this one forward. So, one Henschel turret, made, assembled. Now obviously in both these I have left the MG off. I've made it so I can carry it in a little bag, and then it just sticks into the little holes. It's actually fairly good to carry on like that, because I've yet to find a bag that I have enough room in, that I don't want to be squeezing down the top area there and losing the MG or something like that. So it's basically it's a lot safer carrying it around like that. Get a bit more longevity out of the piece, or you have to replace it or something like that. So one Henschel turret. Now I've also created the Porsche turret as well. Now, so a few things about this. First one is, on the Porsche turret, you do not need the inner, I guess, stabilizer rod or whatever you want to call it, that sticks through from the back of the cupola, from the casemate, I guess you call it, whatever this word is, sticks through there and into the barrel to help it move up and down. On this one here, you do sort of need it, because when you move the gun, or even when it's still, you can sort of see through in the gap that's there. And that's how it was in real life as well. But yeah, quite interesting, you sort of need it there. But to make the Porsche version, you don't need that, because it actually sits firm against the shape of the actual model itself. So that's one piece you don't need to duplicate. The rings, okay, they are all present to make up the two turrets. Now what I have done here is I've dropped in a magnet into each of those positions. Yep. And on this one here, I've also magnetized it. So I can take them off, move them over, stick it down, and same again with the other hatch as well. Stick that down too. So, I mean, you've got two turrets, but you've only got one tank body itself. So it's not as if people were crying that we can't put both of them on the battlefield. So if you just want for some flexibility in scenarios, perhaps, or a time frame, and you want to play the earlier turret, the one we call the Porsche one, but I believe actually technically it's a crop one, unless I'm mistaken. Same thing again, the MG can carry over from the one which we've got stored already. As you can see, we simply drop in the magnetized hatches into there, and we can change it backwards and forwards. The secret is, when we camouflage this, when we paint it, what we'll do is we will have the camouflage going over the whole of that hatch and the whole of this hatch. So whatever color this hatch is and this hatch is, let's make it the exact same color, and let's make it the exact same color on this tank turret as well, so that it can interchange between the two. So that's the secret. Also, you could say, well, it doesn't solve the problem of the fact we need to put a turret ring around for the Porsche version. However, if I remove that and then show you this, you can see that instead of sticking the turret ring down onto the hull itself, what we've done is we have attached it to the bottom of the turret. And you can see the connections there, sort of at 10 and 2, and probably 4 and 8 o'clock, if that was a face of a clock. So you can see that it's basically the little connectors are in the places that they would be if the turret was facing forward. Yes, that's not going to be static and your turret's going to turn around. However, I think the overall effect is much more important. And if I stick this on now, you can see that that is perfect. It does move. Yep, you've got no issues with it whatsoever, and you have created an interchangeable turret with just the one set of pieces. As well as that, if we want to do something else, I'll pull that out of the way. Also, with that magnetization, I have put one in the bottom of the tank commander there. Same polarity as the turret hatch, so this one sits on top there like so. Now what I have done is, if you stick in that turret hatch, or you need to really glue it if you want it to be open. However, what I've done is I've created a hole in the bottom of his wrist there that you can't see, unless, well, you can hardly even see it if you're looking in from this angle when you're picking the tank up, let alone looking at it normally on the battlefield. So that's not an issue. But what we do is we put in the turret hatch peg, so to speak, into his hand, into that hole in his hand, and then snap it down onto the turret. Now, it has him slightly off balance. However, like many pictures, it appears as if he's leaning forward, yelling to somebody, maybe talking to somebody down the front right of his tank as he looks at it. Whatever the case is, I mean, he's unbuttoned anyways. It's not like he's going to be doing it in the middle of the battle. So, yeah, it just looks fairly good. I don't really imagine myself having it unbuttoned too too often with someone sticking out of it, but it's just another option, just another way to do it for you. Some more versatility. If we're going to make this versatile, why not go the whole hog, eh? So hopefully you've got some ideas there and you realise now you can create some versatility in both types of tank out of the one box. So next steps for me, I'm going to paint these two up. I've just done the spraying today for the base coat. Hopefully the weather's going to clear up for me. I can get this done tomorrow. So that'll be the two King Tigers then. As well as that, I also managed to get Tiger 1 number 2, Tiger 1 number 3, and using the pieces from the second Porsche or Krupp turret main armament as well, I have, as I said, removed the muzzle brake off the Tiger 1H early production that I got from Warlord. So the metal one that has got a solid piece at the end has gone, and I have pinned on the plastic one after cutting it off, that piece. I've now got a really nice looking Tiger 1H. I've gone back, I have drilled out the holes from the smoke discharges as well. You can see them in there. Yeah, it's looking really nice. Again, got that little bit of that red brown showing through. So this is ready to go and paint up now as well. So in a really good place for the big Tiger build. These models have really come together. I hope you've enjoyed coming along the ride with me so far. At least one to go as I paint them up and then weather them up. We'll see how many more episodes I need, but I'm on track for the end of March. So thanks again, this is Dan out. Thanks for joining Valhalla Games.